Welcome to the mock exam for the Working in the Private Security Industry module. The format of this exam is to replicate what you'll find on the SIA exam, so there are no surprises. For this module, there are 72 questions with a pass mark of 51, which is 70%. You'll have 110 minutes to complete this exam. For each question, you'll be given 4 choices. You need to pick one. Ensure that you only pick one answer. If you're unsure, try to use the process of elimination to give yourself a better chance. During this video, we won't be giving you too much time, so you'll need to pause to give yourself a bit more time to go through the question. Which qualities are most useful to security personnel? The answer is being alert and professional, so C. So you need to be alert of any potential security threats and health and safety risks, and professional to enhance customer service. Health and safety law describes duty of care as the answer is D, taking reasonable steps to reduce harm. So your job as security personnel are to ensure people are safe. Which type of fuel is found within a Class A fire? The answer is A, paper and wood. If a person is seriously injured in the workplace, what action should security personnel take? Call an ambulance. The answer is A. So the question is asking you seriously injured in the workplace, which means you need to call an ambulance. What action should security personnel take in the event of a security threat? The answer is B. Maintain your search procedures. So even if there is an incident going on, you need to ensure that the rest of the venue remains secure. Effective security communication by security operatives helps to The answer is A, presenting a positive image. So communication skills by a security operative requires you to present that positive image by being helpful and friendly. Which of the following radio communications is considered best practice? The answer is D. Radio checks should be carried out periodically, and in this occasion, every 10 minutes. What are the benefits of fire alarm panel systems? And the answer is B, locate the fire. So the purpose of fire alarm panel systems are to highlight where the fire is, and these will be located in buildings with lots of floors, lots of rooms, and complex buildings to help find that fire. What is the fire marshal's role? The role of the fire marshal is to check that the fire safety signs are in position. So the answer is C. So fire marshals are to ensure that health and safety risks due to fire are in good working order. If a colleague complains of chest pains, what is the first thing security personnel should do? The answer is B, call an ambulance. So we expect that as it's serious because of the chest pains, we're thinking about a heart attack here, then the first place of call is going to be the ambulance. When security operatives are aware of a young male under the influence of cocaine, what is the most appropriate action to take? The key words here are a young male, so we'd contact the police, so the answer is C. And the reason we'd contact the police is because we're expecting the young male is under 18 and potentially a child. Which of the following is a principle of customer care? Create a rapport with the customer is the answer C. So the idea of customer care is to build relationships with the customer. How would you pronounce the following registration KD16YCO using the phonetic alphabet? The answer is A, Kilo Delta 1 6 Yankee Charlie Oscar. For these type of questions, it's really good to use a process of elimination. So B, David is obviously not correct. C, yellow is not correct. And D, king is not correct. Which type of fire extinguisher is safe to use on an electrical fire? The answer is B, CO2. Look at the fire extinguisher and it will tell you which fires they should be used on. You should report suspicions of child abuse to anything child related should be the police, so the answer is A. A blue circular sign with a symbol or text in white indicates what? Blue circular signs are mandatory actions which you must follow, so the answer is C. Why is it necessary to understand fire evacuation procedures? The answer is D. It helps to keep you and others safe by being able to evacuate the building quickly and safely. Who should security personnel contact on a first aid incident? First aid incidents are a minor injury, so a qualified first aider will be sufficient. So the answer is A. What does RIDDOR refer to? RIDDOR stands for Reporting of Injuries, Diseases and Dangerous Occurrence Regulations. So the answer is B. Which three components are necessary for a fire to start? The answer is A. Oxygen, fuel and heat source. So all three elements need to be present for that fire to start. Which of the following could be vulnerable? In fairness, all the situations could be vulnerable, but B is a lone female receiving unwanted attention. So this would be the answer B. A complex and urgent message needs to be passed on. What should the sender check to ensure that the message has been fully understood? So the answer is A. You need to make direct contact with the receiver and confirm their understanding, so ask them to repeat back. What is a hazard? A hazard is something that can cause harm, like drunk individuals, tripping hazards, electrical hazards. So the answer is D. Which of the following is not a safe lifting technique? And the answer is A, keeping arms straight. So if you're lifting an item or an object, you need to keep your arms wrapped around the object and bring it into your chest. Beyond reasonable doubt is a term used to prove guilt in which court? The court systems will push criminal convictions to the magistrate's court. So the answer is B. Which of the following is the benefit of crime reduction initiatives? The idea of crime reduction initiatives is to reduce crime by businesses working together to help identify and share information. So the answer is D. What action would be helpful in fire prevention? The answer is D. Avoid overloading electrical points. So we all tend to put lots of sockets into multiple extension leads that go into other extension leads, and this creates a fire hazard. Some people would go for C. Installing smoke detectors near electrical points are good practice, but it doesn't help to prevent fire. It just helps you to be alert of any fires. Which of the following is not one of the 9 protected characteristics? And the answer is D. Location of residence is not one of the 9. Health and safety law requires employees to. And the answer is A. Employees should cooperate with their employer. And that means following policies, procedures, and using equipment that's been provided for them properly. A small fire has been detected in a waste paper bin. What action is required by security personnel next? And the answer is D. Raise the alarm. No matter how small that fire is, you need to raise the alarm to notify other people, because what happens if you cannot overcome that fire? A main aim of the Private Security Industry Act is to. The aim of the Private Security Industry Act is to regulate sectors of the security industry, and they do this by introducing these SIA courses to improve the standards of training for staff. A key purpose of security personnel is to The answer is A, respond to safety risks. Most people in security think about it's all about crime. Well, actually, it's about health and safety. So health and safety is the most important aspect, and therefore violence in the workplace, your customers being aggressive, this would fall underneath safety risks. Benefits of good health and safety procedures at work are The answer is B, fewer accidents. So better health and safety procedures will mean lower accidents. Which of these might be a higher risk to security personnel? If you are working alone, working one-man doors, you're going to be at a higher risk than anyone else, basically due to the higher risk of you being outnumbered by others. And what would happen if something would happen to you? How do you communicate help? When making emergency calls, reporting an injury, what information is the most important to provide? The answer is C, the type of injury suffered. And the idea behind this one is that the type of injury that you pass on to the emergency services, they can use that information to decide which injuries are the most serious. So they can deploy the paramedics to the right person first. Which of the following require an SIA license? Anyone who's contracted out like a CCTV operator would require an SI license, so the answer is A. Which is an indicator of terrorist activity? The answer is C. A person trying to walk undetected, trying to avoid security cameras and security personnel would be considered a terrorist activity indicator. Remember, these are just indicators. Waving a colleague to your location in a nightclub is considered as The answer is B, non-verbal communication. So any body language or signals is non-verbal. What is the best way to communicate with someone who is blind? Most people would speak louder, but you need to identify yourself clearly. Hello, my name is, I'm a security officer, how can I help you? Identify yourself clearly so that they understand who is communicating with them. Civil law can be defined as law that Civil law is law that governs everyday life, so the answer is A. Divorce is the most common type of civil law. Criminal law can be defined as law that Criminal law deals with serious offences, usually against people or property, so the answer is C. Yes, assault would be one of those serious offences. What should a security operative do in relation to an alleged sexual assault? If there is an alleged sexual assault, your role as a security operative is to safeguard the victim from any further assaults. So the answer is C. Which of the following could be considered as personal protective equipment? PPE is anything that will protect you, so a high-vis jacket would be the answer, C. Which colour is a mandatory sign? Mandatory signs are blue, so the answer is D. Prohibitive signs are red, warning signs are yellow, and safe condition signs are green. What does D stand for in the alphabet method of describing someone? D stands for any distinguishing marks. So is there anything that will make that person stand out in a crowd? What is a risk? A risk is the likelihood of an incident happening. So in this case, the answer is C, the chance of an injury happening. What could a lone worker be vulnerable to? The answer is B, injuries and illnesses that require medical attention. So what happens and how do you summon help if you're working on your own and you feel ill? What is the definition of theft? Theft is taking something without consent. Again, the use of force, using force, is not applicable in this situation. What is the phonetic alphabet for the letter C? The answer is C, Charlie. But in the real world, if you can't remember what the letter is, Carl or Chris would be sufficient in that situation. Anyone working within the private security industry should Security operatives are all about having good customer service skills to be proactive to prevent incidents happening in the first place. So the answer is D. Being tough and aggressive is irrelevant. Being trained in advanced martial arts, although useful, is not essential, and having a driving license again is quite useful but not essential. What things should be considered when dealing with customer needs? Always try to make a good first impression. So the answer is A. So make a good impression of yourself so the customer begins to trust you. Make a good impression as well so that the customer also trusts the organization that you represent as well. And getting that trust is key to helping you deal with any potential problems further down the line. Which of the following roles are licensable roles in the private security industry? Again, the key is to eliminate wrong answers. So security installation is out, security dogs is out, and that leaves you with just A, security guarding, door supervision and public surveillance, which is the correct answer. When collecting and processing personal data, which of the following must be ensured under current data protection legislation? Data protection is all about ensuring that we comply with the law, that the information collected is fair, and the purposes of collecting that information is transparent. So the answer is D. Which of the following applies to a security operative when making an arrest? The answer is C. A warrant is not required to make an arrest. So it's the term citizen's arrest, which anyone can make an arrest if they meet certain requirements. In which of the following offences would a security operative make an arrest? Criminal damage is one reason why you would make an arrest, but remember, think about your own safety and the safety of the individuals. If you're carrying out an arrest, it should always be a last resort. In which of the following offences would a security operative make an arrest? You can only make an arrest if an indictable offence has been committed, so your answer is C. Why should a security operative arrest as a last resort? If you get your arrest wrong, you use too much force, this could lead to civil or criminal prosecution, which could include you losing your SIA badge and most likely your job. So the answer is D. Following an arrest, what is the security operative's responsibility? If you do make an arrest, you'll need to attend court, so your answer is B. How much force can a security operative use when preventing crime? Any force used, regardless of the situation, must be reasonable and necessary, so the answer is C. Which is the responsibility of employers under the Health and Safety at Work Act? So the employees must tell staff about hazards, so the answer is A. And this is going to be in your assignment instructions or located in your risk assessments. So ensure that you are aware of where your hazards are within your workplace. Which of the following is a risk of working alone? The answer is D, regular contact with management and colleagues. So it's important that people are aware of your well-being and can respond in case of an emergency. How can security operatives reduce the risk in the workplace? Your responsibilities under health and safety law is to follow those health and safety procedures that have been set for you. So the answer is A. In the run, hide and tell guidance, what are individuals advised to do when hiding during a terror threat? You need to remain quiet and turn off any mobile phones to silent to prevent the terrorists from hearing you. So the answer is B. After applying the HOT protocols, a package is suspicious. What actions should security operatives take? So you need to clear and control the area and then call the emergency services. Don't call the emergency services straight away because you have that initial package to deal with. So again, removing other people from the area so they cannot get injured. Then you can contact the emergency services. So the answer is D. Which of the following activities indicate suspicious behavior? And this will be dependent upon the workplace. So in this situation, a vehicle parked outside somewhere with people inside for a long time is likely going to be a suspicious behavior trait. However, it's going to be dependent upon the environment which you work in. So the answer here is B. What actions should a security operative take when observing suspicious behavior? The answer is B. So approach them and politely ask if they need assistance. This should be enough to stop them from doing what they are doing and hopefully will encourage them to disperse. How should a security operative report suspicious behavior? For any behavior that's suspicious, contact the anti-terrorist hotline. So the answer is C. Which of the following best describes the term duty of care in relation to vulnerable people and a security operative's responsibility? Your role is to follow health and safety legislation. So your main responsibility is to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone in your care. Which of the following indicates that an individual is vulnerable and at risk of harm? Someone who is under the influence of drugs, and you can include alcohol in this matter, is likely going to be vulnerable due to that lack of capacity and increases their risk of harm. So the answer here is C. Which of the following behaviors could indicate a potential sexual predator? And the answer here is A, finding a date rape drug during a search. Which of the following is a sign of abuse? A sign of abuse is a change in an individual's hygiene and appearance. So the answer is A. So this is going to be very difficult for you to observe and to notice unless you actually know that person and can observe changes in their hygiene and appearance over time. Having a business continuity plan is important because the answer is B. It enables the business to operate in the event of an emergency. So businesses need to recover quickly and to open again or to continue operations to help them maintain profits. So therefore, it's essential for them to be able to operate in those emergencies. However, it's not a legal requirement, so it's up to the business to decide if they have a plan in place in the first place. We hope you got lots of value out of this video and that you're now prepared for your exams. Good luck.